Hello YouTube. Today we are working on my Ford Explorer again, and I have dropped the fuel tank and am changing a fuel pump. I just want to show you what's going on here. So here's the all right. There's the lowered tank. And here is the fuel pump assembly. So basically what we have here, this is the strainer, this is the fuel pump, this metal thing wrapped in this piece of rubber, and there's the rest of the assembly. I have a plug of some sorts, probably for the fuel level gauge, and those guys. I don't know if you can see those. There's two rubber hoses up there that had twist tight metal clamps on them, and that was kind of holding up the show. Ended up finding a long enough extension to get to loosen them with a 1/4-inch bolt on a 3/8 drive ratchet, and I just went from behind over the top of the rear axle to the left of the rear differential and loosened them enough to where I could get my hand in behind the tank and kind of rip them off. Then I had to take off the clip. Oh yes, as well as another bit of that guy right there. I had a little clip on the outside. Used a screwdriver just to be careful not to ruin it. And now I'm going to take this off with a 932 socket, and that's just what I found that works for me on here. It might be like 6 or 7 millimeter. It's not an 8, so kind of a weird size for me, for my experience at least. But I'm gonna take this fuel pump off, get the screen off, put it on, and then I'll do the filter next. The problem that I was having was that it would start, but it would not idle. And we discovered that it was not spark, otherwise it wouldn't start. All the plug wires were connected, was the first troubleshoot thing that we did. And we took the fuel filter off, made sure that it wasn't plugged, and we put gas in it just to make sure. And I know that that's not what it was. We reset the brain by taking the negative and the positive off battery with the key on. Wasn't that. We cleaned the mass airflow sensor. Wasn't that. Checked the filter. Wasn't that. So I read my book a little bit, my Haynes repair manual. Scratching my truck. And there's a couple sensors up on the motor. One of them being camshaft sensor of something or other. Oh, and I checked the fuses as well, and I think we're fine there. What ended up there's a sensor for, I think, the camera, the crankshaft, that will let the car start, and if it doesn't send it back and get a signal, it will shut the fuel pump off in 3 seconds. I don't think that was it because it was plugged in. Oh, and we checked under the passenger side glove box, there's an inertia switch that can shut off the fuel pumps. Was not that either. I was hoping that it was. Unfortunately, it's not. So now we're here. However, upon opening the hood and checking the Schrader valve for fuel pressure, we had very low pressure. Poking down on it, you think it would be shooting up somewhere, but it just kind of was just trickling out. So just insufficient pressure, and we're going to change the filter and the pump and the strainer and hope for the best. think altogether cost on all 3 of these brand new parts with a limited lifetime warranty, so keep the receipt, $116.98, so $117 essentially. Which if you took it to a shop, by the time they did the diagnostics, you'd be in at $120 before they even started wrenching on it. At least where I'm at. So we're saving money and getting new parts. A little bit of manual labor. All right, we're getting back to it.